Okay, so this is for the digital art creation project for DH6005. And it's for the assessment in that, where I ask students to bring in a collection of work, each of them that they've done in the past, share it on a discussion forum, and that's this discussion forum here in Blackboard, this thread. And then everybody looks at it, and based on what you get out of it in terms of inspiration, tries to create something that is artistic and that requires you to use some digital tools. Now, what I did with this a couple of years ago, which I've blogged about previously, was I took some of the words and ideas and concepts and I put them in a mind map, and I juggled around with them for a little while, and then I went back to doing it, finishing it off on paper as a piece of poetry, which worked more or less, kind of. I don't know how well it stands on its own, but as the output of the process, it worked quite well. So what I want to do here this morning is replicate that process. I want to explore the replicability of that process of creating some collection of words on paper, which might or might not pass for poetry, I'm not sure. So I've got the discussion thread there. I've got a mind map here, reflected over from my iPad, which is beside me. There it is in the background. So this is the discussion thread. This is the mind map set up, ready to go as I add words in, as I look at things. And what I'm basically just going to do is let this rock. I'm going to skim down through the posts. I'm going to throw some associated words that occur to me on the mind map, and then I'll fiddle with them a bit. I won't necessarily record all of it because it may get a little bit boring, but I'll record sort of 2 or 3 snippets in various times, and there's a bit of a time stamp up here in the corner because I'm recording the whole screen on QuickTime, which will give you some idea of how the process is going. So I'm going to get into this discussion thread. There's the mirror of that. Hopefully you'll be able to see the two more or less side by side as I switch from one to the other. Let me just slide this over here a little bit more. Let me slide a reflector over here a little bit more. Oops. Kind of works. Okay. And hopefully the audio will pick up. So this was my contribution, and I'm actually going to okay, so I have, it's actually black and white. We can do this here. Third image that I put in there was either gold or copper, and it's kind of like copper, and I just have another thought here immediately that occurs to mind. And in fact, as that goes, which of course copper is completely not, but hey, it's, you know, as an image and a metaphor, and I wasn't really going to use my own to kick stuff off. Okay, I'm going to skip over the YouTube and the ambient music. This, I remember this, I looked at these earlier in the week. Right, so colors, I like this. Again, more black and white. I'm going to put a little reference on that so I know what I was talking about. And it's not bore, it's more. More black and white. I thought that was particularly striking. And you know what else there is? There's something else here that, as well as being a black and white image, I want to go to, let's call it portals, because there's a stairs. Orla Peach Power's flood picture has a stairs in it, and it has a person looking at the portal. So we've got colours and portals going on so far in this. Unas. Funnily enough, looking at that after having that last thought, I'm kind of seeing a portal here. There's a pathway. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. That floral border is a kind of a pathway into the painting. So I'm getting colours and pathways so far as the major themes that are coming to me out of this. I need to light my pipe again. I don't know, expectation and reality, maybe. Oh, Ballincollig, I looked at this earlier and I remember this. It's going to take a moment to open up. Takes several moments to open up. Ah, yes, see? Okay, now. So this is the doorway. Again. Oop, undo that. It's actually doorways. So now, autocorrect. Give me color. Give me color. Give me color. I hadn't thought of that. Wrong colors, but okay, I'm using colors. Here, let me just go back to the mind map to show you what I've thrown up here. I've added this line here about doorways at Ballincollig, and it's multiple doorways, and I've got the red shoes, and I've coloured this and these to create some kind of link in my mind's eye between this whole idea of colour, which is beginning to show me a way that I can link colours and portals, which is interesting. There's also green. So, green moss on BBALLINC College doorways. So when we add that into that, that's suggesting something else to me. I could almost do it here. I almost have enough. Ha! Now this is the original Patrick's bookshop poster. I know Claudia's done a version of this later, but I'm going to put this in here. And I just had a thought here. And I had another thought. Which is a bit digital. You're getting so you're not getting a scary insight into how my mind works. Okay, we got more red. Colors, go back to colors. Somebody's done a red version of that crochet, haven't they? And yeah, there's a red crochet. Okay, we got a lot of red. Hungarian cross stitch patterns into music. I'm not going to go into music, so I'm just going to skip that for the moment. That's the really complicated etching which is described elsewhere as to how it's done, which is also red and green. Caroline's red and green etching. Now, I got something else. I got people. Part of what I got, copy this. And the other thing we have in the shoes links to the dancer. We're now gone beyond coming up with a concept for a piece of poetry. We're now coming up with a concept for a novel about a dancer in a red dress and matching shoes who somehow disappeared when she went through a portal to Narnia, which is actually hidden in the Ballincollig gunpowder mills. Does remind me of Aubrey Beardsley, not so much the Harry Clark. So there's the description of that. Now here we go. See, I knew we had gateways. I looked at these earlier in the week briefly, I will admit. A note about Claudia's gateway picture. I think this is a very beautiful picture, but it doesn't say a whole lot to me. This one is also a nice picture because of the composition. I'm going to write something else in here. I know the Jeep's not driving into the beach, but it is driving into the scene. So it's kind of like an arrival is being depicted there. Oh, there's red. Ah, the modified car engine. DMODIFI. Dum. Now, while I'm trying to record this, I don't want to go into the but I will have a look at some of the travel pictures, which I suspect there's a kind of a tunnel, isn't there? Oh, it's steps. Look at that. It's green, moldy stairs going down. Castle. Going down, photographed from above. So there's a kind of a symbolism when you're going downstairs that you're going back down closer to the earth. Or at least you could take that out of that image and sort of descending to the Mother Earth. There's a beautiful moon picture, which is dark. Fits in with the whole color tones of the darkness of the black and white pictures that Orla had and the monochrome glass pictures that I had. So there's a sense of monochrome with very little color coming out in our colors part of this. What are our colors? Black, black, dark blue, green, green. Okay, let me make this red. Can't make these two colors. Oh, we have the dark ones. So let's make that gray, gray. So I got a couple of sense of color. What are the color themes that I see? Oh, and then of course there's columns. Green, very powerful colors, but there's lots of different greens and dark grays in there. And there's the nighttime pictures and the monster in the mist. I'm going to put that under portals. Uh-oh. Okay. I'm most of the way down, actually. I'm kind of skipping the discussion here. And sorry, Angus, I'm skipping the audio because although I could, if I was going to take more time on it, do some kind of an audio thing to go with the words. And of course, Alan's wonderful montages, which are various different shades of monochrome and people with the sort of splash of red enlivening them, which is beautiful. And then there's the splash of color, and there's a splash of color for Rio. And whose faces are these? Oh, Alan's. Oh, Gilbert and George. Yeah, okay. I never really liked Gilbert and George. Now, This is kind of a completed piece of work, isn't it, from Colleen? Where stuff has been photoshopped together very, very nicely. We'll talk about that this week. Yes, there's the description of it. Swan. There's a couple of links to Swan. This is the one. How's that going to work as an MP4? I remember those. Drawing with overlays. Oh yeah. There's another kind of wreath framing a face. Don't remember that one. Oh yeah. It's a bit Spartan. This kind of runs against the grain of what we've had because it's very colourful so far. There's this beautiful blue pottery. Where does that go? In colours. I really like that pottery as well. This is the flower made of book paper. It's pink. It's the only pink thing we've seen so far, but it kind of links towards red. It also links towards the floral borders that Una's put on things. And there was something, yeah, it reminds me of those. The fishies, excuse me. Black and white spotty dress. Actually, let me... Black and white, or is it silver? It's silver, I don't know. Maybe it is silver. Really? Oh yeah. Trespassing. I'm never going to be able to find all of these again now when I want to worry out what that line referred to. There's the fishing picture, which is... It's kind of like that overall dark color with a little flash of, in this case, a yellow boat on it. Kind of like the whole red shoe picture, which was mostly grey with the red shoes in it. Here, let's put this in here. This is not going to trace very nicely for me, is it? Not found. Okay, don't know why it's wrong with that. Aidan's very black and white face that's going to be destroyed, as he explains it in the course of the process, which is interesting. So what I've got here is this then. After a very quick rip through, I've got some ideas reduced to words which have to do with colors and with portals and doorways. And somewhere in there, there's some faint idea. There's the idea of words as passwords and ways of getting through gateways into other places. And I mentioned the Narnia concept and the digital and the reality and virtual reality. So I got some words there, and now I'm going to have to sit down and juggle them around a bit. So that's kind of what they look like at the moment. And I'm going to make a cup of coffee and juggle these around and see what sort of shape I can get them in. And I may record some of the juggling. But for now, that's enough of the process of how I got stuff out of the stuff on the thread. So no, I don't want FaceTime. I want QuickTime. If I hit the QuickTime quit button, it will ask me if I want to save it. I do.